Alafia. I'm Philip John Neimark, the founder of the IFA Foundation International, and I'd like to welcome you to the final iteration, excuse me, for the month of May, as far as our weekly Ifascope provides. The weekly Ifascope is, of course, an in-depth, up-close look at the events that will happen to all of us, and they will be different to all of us, and then provides us with the solution of how to handle those events. We could be angry, we could be upset, we could be afraid, we could be lots of things, and we tend to take that attitude from place to place to place with us, and I think you'd be surprised as to how much of a impact that attitude has on what is happening, on whether or not we successfully deal with those issues which are troubling to us, or how effectively we deal with those issues which are wonderful for us. So it's a different concept. It's the correct concept, I believe, of what short-term divination was all about, and I think you can benefit a great deal from it. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity for one of the last times to invite you to join my wife, Ifascope, on her weekly WebEx presentation. She's always joined by one or two or perhaps more Oluwos, and each one covers a separate topic, a topic which I'm sure you'll be, one, interested in, and two, you will be liking or frothing at the mouth to ask questions which you have never been able to ask to Babalaos and the Yiddi phase before this. Because what we do is, of course, we answer your questions. We tell you the truth. There are no secrets. There are no, terrible things that are going to occur. There's only truth. And that truth not only can set you free, but can result in much greater, happenings in your everyday life and in your emotional, spiritual life. And I think you're going to find it worthwhile to participate. It's no cost. I mean, it doesn't cost you a nickel. I saw some people this week sent in their request for appearing, and if you just go to our website, theifafoundation.org, and you look under contact, and you look under Vasa's name, Vasa, and send her an email saying, hey, I'd like to take part of this. I understand all I need is a computer, hopefully a camera, and she will send you the information on how you can sign in, and take advantage of just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I think it's going to leave some of you scratching your head about, how you existed beforehand, when everything was a secret or impertinent, or you weren't allowed to ask, or it was for men only, or on and on and on. At any rate, it's every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock our time, and most people are absolutely loving it. This week, the weekly Ifascope is one of the good news, bad news kind of sets of information. The good news, of course, is that we will overcome the difficulties that we're facing. The bad news is we're facing some difficulties, but the overriding good news is that we have some real hints about why this is happening. First of all, the Odu itself is Irete Iwari. Now, if you're not initiated into Ifa, Irete is about the winds of change. It's about doing that which comes up, that which is necessary, not that which is heroic, or hugely, important to you, but taking care of your everyday work as it appears and happens. On the emotional, spiritual side, it has Iwari, and Iwari is about introspection. It's about greater thinking. Doesn't matter. Some of you are very introspective. Some of you are not so introspective. Ifa can make those judgment calls, and for each of you, the point is you need to be a little more introspective. You need to, think about the seamstress who says, measure twice, cut once. Be analytical. Think about what it is you have to do. From there, we go to the cast, which decides whether or not it was Ire or Ev. And it was Ire, and it was Ire, and here's the first hint we have as to why the good news, bad news took place. It's Edie, Iwari. And the temporal everyday side is telling us to be joyous, to exhibit some of the Oshun traits, to have some fun. Life should be fun, no matter what the events are. We should be happy to be participating in it. So that's number one. And then two is thinking about that in introspective fashion so that we understand why we need to have some joy in our life. Because it makes us do better work. People are so happy to see us exhibit that. And all in all, it makes for a great configuration. The subset for all of this is victory over difficulty, as I said. And that is the good news, the bad news. The good news, we're going to overcome this. The bad news is there's something to overcome. But every day wasn't marked down as Christmas for us. So at any rate, that's the situation. And for each of you, by the way, let me point this out. It may be a different thing that you're facing. It may be something, a different challenge that you have to face, that you have to overcome. So be joyous in all that you're doing. That's the real takeaway from this. And the abode to this should be to Orunmila. It's broader than just Oshun. It involves Orunmila because it wants us to have an understanding of why we must be joyous. I think Martin Luther King once said darkness can never remove light. And basically, we say, of course, that positive energy, as evidenced by joy and happiness, etc., could handle or take care of any negative energy that the world throws at us. So that's the story. So I want you to take a bit of honey, you take it, pour it into a dish, you take a small bottle and put it in front of what you carry for your Orunmila. If you're lucky enough to have an Orunmila, then take it down and put it on the Ikin, but it's quite likely that the vast majority of you have not received your Orunmila. And in that case, take that object which you believe in, offer the honey, light 2 white candles, and pray to Orunmila to allow you to relax enough to see how beneficial the joy could be to you and to those that you love. Until next week, love and blessings.